Dear bhaktas, devotees, ladies and gentlemen, some of you don't read my emails. Some of you don't know that they are getting an email. By the word of mouth, because devotee, the communication, the conglomeration of devotees in DFW or anywhere else is so good that they get one email somebody gets and then they say, otherwise they get straight from the Sapna's mouth. I was about to say straight from horse's mouth. No, I want to change the idiom, Sapna's mouth. That's only an idiom, okay? Welcome 2025. Every new year, I tell you what, you don't go for any resolutions. If you keep on taking resolutions, none of which will get fulfilled. Learn to come 1 inch closer to yes, Sguru. It could be, Sripad Sri Vallabha, Narasimha Saraswati, or Shirdi Baba, or even some of the Siddha Purushas that are walking around you. There are 11 Siddha Purushas in the world. Most of them are in India. Most of them will be in South India because that's Siddha Purusha land, South India. So, I told you, surrender. Surrender is a very strong word, strange word, very exquisite word, very intellectual word, very eclectic word, very surreptitiously that word will steal into you. Surrender. Long ago I developed an equation like Einsteinian equation. You all know Einsteinian equation. Mine is B plus C is equal to, yes, that is surrender. B in American parlance will become devotion D. So we can also call it D plus C consciousness is equal to total surrender. That surrender is very impossible. Because when particularly people don't read an email that conveys so much to you. In fact, half of my lecture is there in the email. Welcome, Professor. Your colleague, another professor, is not here today. Maybe you will be appearing suddenly at 6:55. Surrender is very difficult. I have told this several times. That's why I said surrender. In my email, dear devotees, I said surrounded by illusory effects of money, power and fame and fortune, right? You are lost in the whirlpool of life. That is why surrender is very difficult. Surrender will be very difficult also because you don't have the correct priorities of life. For example, this is a 1 hour lecture and 30 minutes puja or 15-minute puja. This conveys so much of significance, electrifying significance if you follow this Sguru, because he has done, since I feel about 3 weeks ago I was here sitting in the same table, same home. Darshini is the same, 1 year older, but last year itself she was grown up like this. Her brain is going by leaps and bounds, that's the only difference. People are not the same. 1 year later, Bharati and Shrikant are very different. Bharati has conquered all the inner inhibitions. 1 year later, our Vandanaji thinks, oh, our corporate people are all become, you think, good. They all are very different. They have become very tough. But then, Mama, in 1 year, my growth is phenomenal that I can take this tough people, Vandanaji says. The two Chicago devotees, two sisters say, Mama, everything is fine, only thing is we were living without our mother in Hyderabad and we have to go to Fort Worth. Life will always throw curved balls at you. Life is not a simple thing. But then, when you follow the satsang, when you develop the inner peace that comes out of the topic today, looking at life through Shirdi Baba's eyes. You got to look at life through Shirdi Baba's lives to get that inner peace, the calmness, the quietude. And then also the meaningless things will go away. When you look at life, when I look at devotees from Shirdi Baba, through Shirdi Baba's eyes, it's easy because I am within Shirdi Baba. Not many of you will be within Shirdi Baba. I was given the siddhi before I was born to be within Shirdi Baba and then do that. That's why I could do all the things in the bank, in Bell Helicopter, and in personal life. Nothing worries me, nothing shakes me up. That's because you found Baba gave his two eyes to look life through. Let's go to 1955 and later. April 18th, 1955. I take all of you to Princeton, New Jersey. Somebody wanted to see life much better. He is a pathologist called Thomas Harvey. He was in the Princeton hospital. Thomas Harvey was a pathologist, MD, even in those days, 1955. And then there was Dr. Henry Abrams. We'll call him Dr. Abrams. He was a eye doctor. Ophthalmology is very complicated today because for the outer layer there is one expert, for the inner layer one expert, for the eyeball one expert, for all the parts, for all the the eyebrows and the one another doctor. Branches are so many, but then in those days Abrams was an eye doctor. He was working also in New Jersey's Princeton Hospital. And then a famous person died. Come on in, please. He died that day, April 18th, 1955, at the age of 76. The whole world, he was one of the top 12 persons, one of the top 12 most famous persons known to humanity, one of the top 12 in those days. Today, he is the only one well known. Nothing compared with this scientist who stole your hearts, who stole everybody's heart, my heart too, when I was a young boy. 1955, I didn't know, but 1965, I was talking about him. Everyone wanted to see life through his eyes. Look, he was one of the greatest persons ever lived on this planet, who stalked on this planet. And he went to the hospital. They all wanted to save his life. He told the doctors, I have lived enough. Enough is enough. He didn't say that. I added, I lived a very useful life. I have done my share to humanity, and therefore don't make me live by artificial means. They tried. He had aneurysm, his heart had failed, he was oozing blood through the nose. He said, burn my body and throw my ashes, not necessarily, don't take my ashes to Israel. Got a powerful hint, don't take it to Israel, but then Tel Aviv, but then don't give it to university. Throw in an undisclosed place. I'll disclose the place, he told the doctors. Cremate my body. But then his son, Hans Albert, electrical engineering professor, I have given a most powerful hint. Father's son, who was in California, said, you can take the body parts only for research purposes. One sentence he said, he was a very famous son of Albert Einstein. He died, and the brain, the pathologist, Thomas Harvey, I told, MD, he took away the brain in the hospital illegally. It was not a legal transfusion or cutting of his brain. He took the brain he made it into 120, exactly 126 parts. He took it home in a bottle. Of course, there is a liquid and all that. Some of the aspiring doctors know. Chemistry people know. There are 2-3 PhDs they know. And then his eyes were gouged out without his permission. Illegally, the eyes were gouged out and given to who? Dr. Abrams, the eye doctor. He was burnt. Albert Einstein, the most famous man ever to stole this planet, for various reasons. I am going to give only one reason, that these doctors and his personal lawyer, Einstein's personal lawyer, even though illegally they took out the brain, sabko nikal diya, entire brain was out. There is a lot of research going on in his brain, and in New York City they took the brain in 4 bottles, put it in a bank's vault, and then storage box in a bank, and then they kept some of which. The last 4 pieces are still in New York City. Even today, as we are talking, Albert Einstein's brain, the government is keeping a close watch. But then, in those times, since April, he died on April 18, 1955 in Princeton Hospital. At that time, there was no such strict laws in the medical world, and therefore they used it, and then Hans Albert also said you can take his body parts. The son approved. That's enough for the doctor. The eyes were gouged out every morning. This eye doctor, what's his name? Abrams. Dr. Abrams used to wake up, and this is the most peculiar part. But look why he did that. He looked at the world. The first thing he woke up is not brushing. He will go and look to take the bottle and keep it in front of his eyes, and then he will look at his wife, he look at his home, he look at his friends through Einstein's eyes. He became a very intelligent man. He lived up to 97 years. Dr. Abrams, he looked through Einstein's eyes and he found out several truths about life, not before. Everyone in those days wanted to see through Einstein's eyes. And this doctor wrote to Hans Albert, the one who took away the brain, that's a pathologist, okay? Thomas Harvey. He wrote and said they asked for permission. By the time some of the 126 chips came over to California, University of California, I don't know whether Berkeley or the other campus, it went there and then they all started doing research. One Miss Diamond did a research and then found out, among many other interesting things, Albert Einstein's brain, even today, is a challenge to PhDs. He found out his hippocampus is correct, right? Pronunciation. She does neuroscience. Doctor also knows. Am I right? Hippocampus, the left side, when you're looking at left side, has too many cells crowding around cells, and the right side had too little. It's an imbalance according to medicine, but then it's not an imbalance. That gave him the brain. That gave him the IQ of 160. Your internet will say Albert Einstein had 160. Actual IQ was 156. Between 156 and 160, I declare it is 156. Because I said several times, you are just one shy of Albert Einstein, 155. There is one devotee, yes, he's above 140 and close to 150. You know his name, I often praise him. He's a very much IQ'd man, much talked about man. Whereas the average American IQ, nobody will sue me, is published in Wall Street Journal long ago, is only 97. That doesn't include you. The Indian IT people have 127. You're very close to Einstein. That's the way to look at it, right? Mama, what is your IQ? Somebody asked me from Austin. No, that my IQ is kept in a bank vault. I cannot divulge it. You judge. I talk with you. I solve your problems. You know my IQ. Rajini knows my IQ. It can't be above Einstein. Einstein never looked. Einstein wanted to know God only in the last 10, 15 years. When he got the Nobel Prize, another joke about Nobel Prize is humorous. I asked so many people in my college, including my professor, PhD from Michigan in Coimbatore, what is that he got the Nobel Prize for? Everybody instantly, back comes a reply, special theory of relativity, general theory. I had to tell them, Professor, sorry, you lost your degrees from Michigan. So what do you think you are, Vishwanathan? He got it for his research and experiment on photoelectric effect. Professor knows. It's not the general theory of relativity. Even for that he was foregone 9 times, 10th or 11th time he got the Nobel Prize. So, seeing through his eyes, the doctor took the eyes in a pickup truck all along Atlanta, New Jersey, Washington, Delaware, Atlanta, and then North Carolina, Missouri, Texas, into Arizona, and then California he took. He also raised some funds because in those days, Israel versus wars were all going. Very often Israelites found themselves at the wrong end of the stick, and therefore funds were raised, and therefore Hans Albert didn't bless that effort, but then Einstein's other son was in and out of a mental asylum in Germany. His first wife was very happy to get the amount of Nobel Prize. She kept quiet. She had mental issues. His second wife helped him so much in New Jersey. Elsa, his much celebrated cousin, was his second wife. Helped him. She didn't know the spelling of physics. That was a model wife. Never interfered with the husband's scientific work. He became a very famous man. The eyes were taken out, and then everybody in the world, successive presidents, wanted to see life. One president got the advice to not make the atom bomb. You know the president's name. Because my research, E is equal to mc square, should not be used to make a bomb and then annihilate half of humanity. He said that. I got 17 books on Albert Einstein, all the words he uttered. Even on that Sunday before he died, he knew that he was dying, and then he, except one thing, he did everything. He didn't rearrange his table. His table, nearest example, don't laugh at this, don't laugh at this. Nearest example of Einstein's table is come to my home in South Haven. Look at my table. Supposedly the breakfast table. People who have seen know I am telling the truth. If you want to be a more organized table, come to my puja room. My wife is laughing. For the last 4.5 years, for the last 25 years, she is saying, why don't you arrange your table? My dear, I can't do that. I give you the same explanation as Albert Einstein. So many devotees are calling me. She knows that. So much of notes I have. So much of medical research I go through. I put the blame on my daughter. So many essays I write. So many answers I give. I don't even note down. When I see the devotee, I get all the answers. When I see Vandanaji, I get all the phone conversations in my this thing. They replay. I don't know. Nobody has studied my hippocampus or my cerebellum. It gets. That is the advantage. That is one of the biggest advantages of seeing through Shirdi Baba's eyes. 1906, I was lecturing in one of the local Shirdi Baba temples, one of the temples in Plano. At that time, I met with a young woman. I told you I was looking through Shirdi Baba's eyes. Any day I can see. In fact, I do it 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. I can see through his eyes. In the consciousness, I use his eyes as his consciousness, and that's the reason I tell all your inner secrets, all that happened in the past, present, your future, to some extent. Some people's future, I had said, next 50 years, 40 years. You have to wait and see if it's going to be true. How I do that is, 1908, I went to the temple. I saw this young woman with a 3-year-old girl, 2.5, 3-year-old girl. I said, what's your name, young woman? She was very puny, very smart looking, very charming. Someone who has an IQ of, say, average Indian IQ, 127, if you will. Some of you are 141, 142, but don't worry about that. That's all very rare. Uncle, at the end of the lecture, my name is Meenakshi. Meenakshi, Tamil Nadu. Meenakshi is slightly halfway from India, Vindhyas, Madhya Pradesh. You know that. Bengal, they say Minati. I was wearing the goggles of Shirdi Baba, his eyes. You are Minati? Gauri, how are you? He said, Mama, my name is not Gauri. But you are Gauri. You are Gauri, and you are saying, what proof you have that you are not Gauri? You are Gauri, and then you have a child now. And there is a whole big story that is weaved around you by Shirdi Baba himself. Shirdi Baba is telling, his first word is, several centuries ago, there was an old and dilapidated temple for Mahadev. Is Mahi here today? Mahi? Mahi is going to come and bless us. Mahadev is coming. A child, a very cute child, his name is Mahadev. This old and dilapidated temple in that city, there lived a very rich man. Nevertheless, he was the most miserly man. I am telling this story in the Shirdi Baba temple, in the small temple, crowded, and right before you, Shirdi Baba is there, I am watching. She gets a little restless. She is wondering why this mama, what is he smoking? At that time, she didn't know that I was smoking Baba's chillam. I said, you listen to the story, the whole new theory will engulf you, and then you will succeed. You will know your future. She said, okay, Mama. Halfway the concentration on the 2.5-year-old girl, the child. She was listening halfway through. Nevertheless, I continued. This rich man was very miserly. The Mahadev temple was very old, and then it was breaking up, and all the bricks were coming out, and therefore it needed to be refurbished and built again, all the walls. And therefore, I told Gauri, lots of funds were raised. The people there raised the funds, and then he was a rich man, responsible man, they thought. He was very miserly, I told you. All the funds were given to them, telling the gentleman, okay, sir, you are a very respectable man. All these funds we are depositing with you. In those several centuries ago, there was not much of a bank to gloat about. There was no honest bank. Okay? There was no citizens bank. So, these people, all the money he took. All the money he took, and then he barely spent any money. He swallowed some money, and then he did not spend any money for the foundation or the walls of Lord Shiva Mahadev temple. And then he kept quiet. One day, Lord Shiva appeared in Gauri's dream and said, do not worry about your husband. He is miserly. Everyone knows about it. It's a well-known truth, and therefore, spend some money. Spend some money, and then out of that money you collect it. And then when you spend some money, do not ask your husband. And then the dream ended. Next day morning, Gauri goes to the miserly, the husband, very respectable woman, several centuries. All right? Went to the man and said, this is the vision of Mahadev, and therefore, can you give some money, we will invest. And then he said, Mahadev appeared in your dream. I have the money, and Mahadev has got this nasty habit of appearing in your dream. He should have told me. He should have appeared in my dream and then told to spend some money. He didn't believe, in other words. So he didn't believe. Gauri got a little bit offended, but being a very good, 5 centuries ago, very good wife, she said, he respected the husband's opinion, kept quiet. Lord Shiva did not keep quiet, appeared in her dream once again and said, Gauri, you told your husband, but your husband is not willing to spend even a pie, and therefore you take money, you take jewelry, your old jewelry, and then give the jewelry to your husband. He will give you money. With that, you start finishing the gopuram only, the gopuram of this dilapidated Mahadev temple, my temple, you build. He disappeared. And she goes to the husband and says, this is my vision, and therefore I'll give my jewelry, all my jewelry that my father gave as Sidanam, right, when we get married. So that Sidanam, that is several thousands of rupees of gold, is devalued, revalued at lower valuation of 1,000 rupees. And then he did not give Gauri 1,000 rupees, he gave instead a dry land, infertile land of several hundred acres, a huge land in that city. He gave that, and is good for nothing. There is no benefit out of the land. Nobody gets, is there. One woman called Dubaki, old woman, gave that land to this miserly man for 200 rupees. She needed 200 rupees. In those days, it's like winning your mega million, right? $100 million. So that money, 1,000 rupees, he valued and then gave it. And then instead of giving 1,000, I won't give you, changed his mind, he gave the land to Gauri. This land, Gauri gave to the priest, chief priest of Mahadev temple in those days. And then she said, Mahadev appeared, and she was very happy. And then Lord Shiva appeared that night and said, you have done a very good job, Gauri. I'll give you for this, I'll bless you, I'll give you 100 times the value of this land. 100 times he specifically mentioned, and therefore he disappeared, and therefore Gauri was even doubly happy. Lord Shiva appears to me, Mahadev. How many people see Mahadev every day? We see Shiva every day. I see Shiva every day. 2 of them resembling Lord Shiva, very bhakti oriented, definitely having definitions of devotion. One is volunteering in a temple as executive committee member. He's here. Another is seeing through my eyes. That my refers to Shirdi Baba. Okay, always in my lectures, my, me, all these things, I am nowhere there. I'm associating only with Shirdi Baba. My wife knows. I live for him. Gauri gave the land, and then At that spot, everything remains. Nothing was done. Strange things happened. That's a quote from Satcharita. Towards the end, this story appears. Some of you may remember, strange things happened. Who likes this statement? I love this statement. Strange things happened. Lots of rain came and very severe lightning, and the lightning, the miser's house got burnt, and with that, the good woman Gauri died, and the miserly man, he also died, because they both were living as husband and wife. She was a very good wife. They perished. Dubaki also perished. And when all these people gone, after some time, the story shifts to the next birth. Gauri is born as the daughter of the temple priest. Okay? She's called Gauri by Shirdi Baba. Shirdi Baba was still living. The next birth, he is still living. He is still living even today. And he was telling the Guru of the temple gets a son. I'm missing one story deliberately because of the lack of time. Some of you who know the story will know I am missing one part. And then there is another person. He is called Chennabasappa. Chennabasappa and Veerabhadrappa. Veerabhadrappa is none other than the Maisa, Gauris. He is born in Mathura in a chaste Brahmin family. Satcharita says that, I repeat. Chaste Brahmin family, and then he is there, he is very poor, and therefore he goes from home to home and begging from Mathura all the way. He comes to South India to the city of Mahadev's temple, where Gauri is born as a priest's daughter, extraordinarily good daughter, good-natured, well-mannered, all beautiful, enviable qualities. The nicest person in the country perhaps, and our Dubaki is born as Chennabasappa. Because Satcharita says Chennabasappa. Chennabasappa was born there, and Dubaki is born as the Guru of the temple's only son. So Chennabasappa is there, Veerabhadrappa is the Mysore is there, Gauri is already there, Shirdi Baba is in the dilapidated temple in a room, just like the Dwarakamayi. At that point, the Guru comes and says, Guruji, priest comes and says, Gauri is growing by leaps and bounds. I want to find a proper husband. Baba says, you need not go in search for a husband. The husband will come and knock on your door. In the meantime, Veerabhadrappa comes there, is going around the country. He comes to the temple and then asking for food. I have not eaten for several days. He comes from a very poor Brahmin family, from Mathura, Uttar Pradesh. When he comes there, Baba says, he is the person who is going to marry Gauri to this person. The Guru, they all have great respect, like all of you have, for Shirdi Baba, and therefore they get married. Chennabasappa is growing there in the same temple. And suddenly, a big bonanza lands on the dry land, a big rain, and inevitably everything grows, and then the land goes. The price of the land is estimated 100 times the price that was given. It goes to 1 lakh, say 100 times 1 lakh approximately. When it goes to 1 lakh, they come to Shirdi Baba, they are married now. Then Chennabasappa and Veerabhadrappa comes to Shirdi Baba. Initially, after marriage, for some time he is a devotee of Shirdi Baba. He comes and cajoles Shirdi Baba, give me all the money. Let the money, all the money is yours because all the money belongs to my wife Gauri, right? And therefore give me all the land. In the meantime, Mahadev, is he here? Lord Shiva appears in Gauri's dream and says, do not give all that land, any paisa out of that 1 lakh. Do not give any paisa to this Veerabhadrappa. That is your husband. Give half the money of the interest. Before that, he says, put half the money in the bank. The interest you will get, half the interest will go to Chennabasappa. You take the principal, half the interest to Chennabasappa, and no money to Veerabhadrappa. At that time, Veerabhadrappa comes, when Baba is uttering these words, Veerabhadrappa comes and says, oh, this man is very evil. He tries to usurp all the money from Gauri, my wife, and because Gauri is a great devotee of Shirdi Baba, and then he is trying to challenge Shirdi Baba. And at that time, Chennabasappa comes, they both start fighting, fisticuff, and he says, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you with a sword in front of Shirdi Baba, he says. They keep on fighting. In the meantime, Gauri comes to Shirdi Baba. It's a long story. Gauri, Baba says, you do this. In the dream, Shiva says, for any other matter regarding the money, consult with Baba in the temple. Consult. This is a very strong word, Shiva, Lord Shiva says. So Gauri often comes there and talks. And then Channabasappa and Veerabhadrappa couldn't careless. They don't agree at all. And therefore they fight. And in the fighting, they both die. In the next birth, Channabasappa becomes a frog. Veerabhadrappa becomes a snake. And the snake takes the frog. It was about to eat. The croaking noise, Shirdi Baba is walking in Shirdi. A traveler comes. I'm very briefly telling you because all of you know the story. He says there's a croaking noise. A frog is about to be eaten by a very huge cobra. Baba says, let's go and see. He's smoking chillam. He leaves the chillam with the traveler. Traveler comes and then he goes there. Right, addresses the cobra, saying, Veerabhadrappa, your enmity doesn't seem to end. Janma after janma. That is why I say one of the 5 enemies of humankind is your enmity. There are 4 more. Lust and other things, all these things are there. But enmity and loan. If you take a loan, you can take a loan of $10 million from a bank, but return it. Yeah. Right? Return it, Baba said. So, loan, enmity keeps on going. Veerabhadrappa, you leave Channabasappa. Is this the way you live? And the onlooker is he's holding chillam with the trepidation, and then he sees the snake leaving leaving the frog, and the frog goes and vanishes in the bushes. Cobra goes and vanishes, and then the traveler asks, who are you, sir? What happened? Why did you, what is the story? This story is told to the traveler by Shirdi Baba. And then, after a long time, I am teaching this story to several people in some other satsangs and all that. I meet Gauri in Plano Temple. When I told the story, she was very surprised. I said, where is Veerabhadrappa? Your Veerabhadrappa is in Haryana. And then right now he is facing 2 legal suits. In the temple, I said, she took a very serious glance at me, and that is true. Mama, you seem to know not only Gauri's story, you seem to know my story, because your story is none other than Gauri's story, Veerabhadrappa's story, Channabasappa's story, the miserly man's story. And therefore, your husband will face 2 lawsuits in Haryana court in India, and one case he will lose, one case he will win, both of which happened. Gauri got a little curious at me. She used to attend all my satsangs in Plano Temple. My wife knows. You remember the puny lady? Very nice lady. Woman of great integrity with that girl. Today that girl should be 14 plus 8, 14 plus 3, 17 or 19 years old. She must be studying in some college. Anybody who comes as Gauri, I would like to see her. Come to the satsang and listen to the story. Our Gauri has come. I will welcome her. All this is possible. Why did I go so briefly, so elaborately into this part of Gauri? Because you can do the same thing if you see at life through Shirdi Baba's eyes. Shirdi Baba's eyes, I'll come to that. That is part of that equation I told you. If you watch life through Shirdi Baba's eyes, a magic will happen. Your life, the life you are leading, will all be illusory. It will be proved then and there that the life you are seeing, the 8-dimensional life, consciousness, remember 8th level of consciousness, in the mental state, right? Gross plane, and then what is the next plane? Gross plane, subtle plane, and then mental plane. Mental plane, you become God. That is why most of the Siddha Purushas in India, or if anybody exists in the United States, those Siddha Purushas are like God. You can ask any questions, and these Siddha Purushas will be able to. You'll have the answers. Because they all see through God's eyes, Shiva's eyes, Mahadev's eyes. Of course, Suresh can also look through the child's eyes. Child's name is Mahadev. Right? Suresh can do that. Sapna can do that. Not this Sapna, the other Sapna. Mahadev's mother. Am I right? The name? Remember so many, thousands of names. Sometimes I call Rajini, Ranjini. She used to get angry at me. What, uncle, you changed my name. I love that name, Rajini. Okay, Ranjini, I once said that. Oh, she used to get angry. She never came to the next 2 satsangs, you thought. She comes to all the satsangs. along with my friend Radha Krishnan. Where is he? Oh, he is there. How did I forget your massive healthy body? Good. He's a strong man in the satsang. Anybody who needs to do a puja and removes sofas and all that, our Radha Krishnan can come. Because he just looks at sofa, it moves. That is the dedication. He is also highly dedicated, this couple. I am marking out this couple because they have done a lot of good things, and therefore Lord Shiva is giving them, Baba is giving them back all the good things 10 times. Gauri got 100 times the money. 1 lakh. The land was sold, right? Strange things will happen. Strange things will happen in anybody's life. If you see through Baba's eyes. I see through Baba's eyes, and therefore I could say, hey, one devotee 4 days ago, you brought a very good news, happy news in your mind. Congratulations. He said, Mama, you know, Mama, the devotee is here in the satsang. Nandanaji always says when I say something about his boss, about her boss, he's not giving you enough salary, you are doing senior manager's job, they are not paying you. Her boss's director's job, she is doing IT, all her IT. They are paying senior manager's salary. So they all come and talk to me about their boss. I won't tell the name, okay? I won't embarrass you. I once told her, Arey, Punjabi mein baat karo. Tusi change ho. Punjabi. Uncle knows a little bit of Punjabi, little bit of Telugu. Gotilva, Kannadam, Gotilva. And then a little bit of Tamil. Little bit of Tamil. She has taken my gold medal in Tamil, therefore I know only little. My daughter wanted the gold medal. She speaks, my God, she was speaking smattering of Tamil. Today she is like a Tamil poet. She knows so much of Tamil. But I teach her English vocabulary, no Tamil vocabulary. That the TV teaches. TV. Got the humor, right? Tamil vocabulary. This is the story. I left you somewhere. A number of people, I left you with that good news. That is possible only if you do these things. Right? The other day somebody called me and said, Mama, I am going to Hyderabad. Samajh gaya bhai, you are going to Hyderabad. But then I said one small this thing I want to tell you. I am going to Washington DC, and then from there I am flying to London to Hyderabad, okay? I never use the name of India, Bharat. It's all Hyderabad. Devotees here always go to Hyderabad. Next time I am also planning to go to Hyderabad, from there to Shirdi, Bangalore and Chennai. I told, hey, the plane's infrastructure is very different. First, the door, next the landing gear, the wheel well, next the landing gear. One person is saying, Raghav, I know. Now, what is the charge? The pilot of Southwestern Airlines 3 days ago was charged with a DUI. Some people called me, what is DUI? What is DUI? Yeah, you didn't watch the news, right? You have a huge TV, 85 inches, you don't watch this news. He was charged, Southwestern Airlines, first the door and then the wheel well, and now the pilot, he's inside and driving under the influence, okay? For the car and for the pilot, they're all set. Somebody was interviewing at the Love Field Airport. Look at the smart, he must be having 156 IQ. He said, I was driving, that's all right, driving under DUI, but then I was not piloting. The plane was piloted, it was on autopilot. AI was driving, I was not driving. In the court, in the airport, they said, this is the smartest pilot. You go back to work. This segment didn't appear in the news. It will. It was an autopilot. Hey, the AI that is driving is not charged with DUI or DWI. She knows both, right? Yes. Added to her vocabulary. My daughter asked me, what is DUI? Yeah, driving under the influence. Under the influence of what? Coffee? With so much things going on, I have some more time. Some more time, can I see through Shirdi Baba's eyes? All right. Oh, I have done some time. I will take you to 1912. I brought you to 1908, 2008, and now it is 1912, 1908. This is a very famous life of Shirdi Baba devotee. A great devotee who fell in love with even Krishna. Haimasiya. Baba used to call Dwarakamayi Krishna. Haima's daughter. They started calling Krishna, and she was christened Krishna by that 6-year-old son. He doesn't know Radha-Krishnamai. So Krishna is stuck and they are about to come, right? In another 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Krishna's great friend, he was a retired judge in the Indore High Court. Now you know the name. Anybody who doesn't know the name of M.B., somebody said the right name. Indore retired judge, आप तो जानते होंगे, retired Indore High Court, M.B. Rege. He started with Durgaji. He was under the influence of Goanese culture, Goa. His parents and others, great-grandfathers were living in Goa, and therefore the Durga form of Goa was the one he took. And came as Upanayanam on the 8th year, M.B. Rege. When the Upanayanam came the other things, for instance, Gayatri and Sandhya. And all his life, he used to be very, very sincere. Sincerely follow this Gayatri and Upanayanam and all the rules and regulations and Sandhya every day, very strictly. And suddenly, he heard from a natak or some movie, he came to know about Dhruva Narayana. That led to Lord Vishnu. He called it Narayana Vishnu. Okay? He was attracted by that, and then whenever he used to think, he started meditating at the age of 8 on Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. And at that time, Dhruva used to interfere with the worship, and then he used to come and interlude, make fun of him, and all those things, and therefore, Dhruva picture, he painted a picture of Dhruva and Narayana, Vishnu. Your first floor, right? And he cut out the Dhruva picture and put his picture there. Just to get out of this real story, M.B. Rege is one of the 5-star, 6-star devotees of Shirdi Baba. In every temple you find this picture. This M.B. Rege, he was very, very devoted. He could do pranayama, siddhasana and padmasana at the age of 11. He could remember, he could concentrate on one object for more than 15 minutes. Narasimha Swamiji says 15 minutes because in those days, as in these days, you are watching your cell phone, you keep on doing it. There is one famous devotee here, an UTD student right now. He used to watch, he used to hide behind that this thing, washer, dryer, and then you'll be doing this. He's smiling now at me. I don't do that, you did that. I used to catch him. Srimati Jyoti and Professor's home, he was doing it deliberately right on the staircase. He didn't see me coming from behind. I caught hold of this thing as to what he was watching. No, he was only texting Kolkata. He was texting somebody. His cousin sister, Mihika, another great devotee from Houston. So I caught him, and then ever since, he is not doing it. During my lecture. Right now, he is right in front of me, he is not doing that. If he goes somewhere else, he will start doing that. This Durga devotee did so much. He was so successful. And he could regulate. One of the big successes he had was he could regulate M.B. Rege. He could regulate through pranayama. He could regulate the heartbeat. He could even stop the heart. There is no mean feat in those days. Doctors cannot do that. Doctors stop the heart. There you go. You get straight ticket, right? So, cardiologists cannot help. This fellow could stop the heart from the beat and then again start. This concentration on Vishnu and prayer, he became 21 years, and between 11 and 21, 10 years, he did all these things, much to the delight of the parents and all the relatives. All this devotion led to 3 successive visions. At the age of 21, he had 3 brilliant visions. In the first vision, he was lying in his bed. I will be very brief with the visions because the main story is intriguing, all-powerful, M.B. Reggae. In the first one, he was lying on the bed, but his body alone. He was out of the body and he was standing there, out of the body, and therefore he is looking at his body. The same story I told about the Bangalore professor, Vishnu Vardhan, some time ago. You don't even remember my email sent yesterday. How can you recollect Vishnu Vardhan's story? I don't refer to everybody. Some people didn't read my email because my email tells 65% of this lecture. Beautifully, very succinctly. And that is true. All of you, if you read that, you will know uncle is correct. In the first dream, he is seeing that, and then he is on the bed, he is noticing a change. The body is separate and he stood out and looking at the body. So, he was not the body. Simple truth, right? You all go to Kroger, right? Simple truth. Hey, that's a product. Okay, that product could be called, according to this devotee, that product could be also called Dehatma Buddhi. If you see your own Dehatma Buddhi, nobody will buy the product. Hey, it is something from China, the country close to China, south of Himalayas. Therefore, nobody will. Dehatma Buddhi means you are looking at the body as a separate, your Atma is separate. That's all it means. I don't go into the Sanskrit. Somebody here who knows the Sanskrit, left to right. So, Dehatma Buddhi he learnt. An hour later, another experience came. He is out of the bed, the body is there, he is standing. Right in front of him and besides, adjacent to him, is standing a figure, and that is Vishnu. Vishnu is standing, it's not a picture. Vishnu is just moving and says, look, that is your body and this is the Atma. I brought the Atma. Therefore, this is a confirmation. This vision was given to him as a confirmation of Dehatma Buddhi. Right? Simple meaning. And then, yet, few hours later, he gets the third vision, a very powerful vision. In that also the same thing, body, Dehatma Buddhi is, Atma is there, Vishnu is there. Vishnu is telling, look to your left, there is another figure. Catch hold of him. This Vithalji, do not forget. Remember in Sacharita's story, pakdo, pair pakdo. So, catch hold of him. Similarly, he says, catch hold of him. This man is called Sai Baba of Shirdi. You are going to resort to him for the entire life and then all the other janmas. And therefore, catch hold of him. Do not leave him. This is your man. Lord Vishnu says. We don't even get if you get Sripada Srilova's dream or Varahi Amman's dream, Ambal will say all these things. Sripada Sriloba will say outstanding things about your 10th Janma, your 100th Janma, or behind your past. He says that and he gets the confirmation. The Lord is showing me the Sguru, the Guru. After all these years he is doing all this. He didn't even mention the what? Last satsang I told you, the mantra. What is the mantra? Janam Janmo Janmai Sri Charana Sri Bhagya Sai. All of you know that, right? If it didn't come, you can know it. Right now I mentioned Janam Janmo Janmai Sri Charana Sri Bhagya Sai. He didn't even practice all those things. He has found the Sadguru. Therefore, the fourth one, he is flying in the air. There is one devotee here who used to get, other than me, one devotee here used to be flying in the air. That is a phenomenal dream. She will be flying in the air from here to Hyderabad. Sorry, she happens to be from Visakhapatnam, your town, but then Hyderabad is very familiar to her. So she used to fly to Hyderabad and Visakhapatnam and then above in the air. Similarly, in the fourth dream, M.B. Reggae, the retired judge, is flying in the air and suddenly there is a place and then he gets down. He is asking some onlooker or passerby, hey, what is this place called? He says, this place is called Shirdi. And then he says, if this is Shirdi, there must be a Sai Baba of Shirdi. Vishnu has said that, right? There is a Sai Baba. Where is he? Where can I get him? He says, keep walking. Another 2 kilometers, you will find a mosque. He also comes with him, M.B. Reggae. He's hardly about 21, 22 years old. He goes there and he finds Shirdi Baba sitting there in the mosque, called the Dwarakamayi. In those days it is mosque. He's sitting in the Dwarakamayi with all the outstretched legs. He goes there and falls straight, flat on the feet of Shirdi Baba. He's outstretched. There is one famous picture where he is keeping his leg outstretched and playing with Malsapati's son. Do you have the picture in your home? There's only one rare, one of the 11 or 12 famous pictures. What is Malsapati's son's name? Right, yeah. You didn't get $11 because I didn't promise you. I'll give you $12. Martanda Malsapati, right? That $11 is very famous. If you answer uncle's questions correctly, uncle will give at least a minimum of $11. The maximum could be 108, right? Yeah, okay, you didn't answer. At that point, he says, okay, he goes and falls flat. And then Baba says, gets up, and immediately he gets up and withdraws his legs. I'll say, in Marathi, he said, English translation, do you take my darshan? I am your debtor. I am your debtor. You take my darshan. I will have to take your darshan. Baba, this is real story. Baba stands up and then falls flat at M.B. Rege's 22-year-old man's feet. This happened, and then M.B. Rege was taken aback. He withdraws himself back, and then it's a very strong impulse he gets because he has found Shirdi Baba. He has found in Shirdi, right? Lord Vishnu said that. And then there is a confirmation that he didn't confirm anything directly that I am going to be a Sadguru. That experience comes in the next 20 seconds. So he went to the Dwarakamayi again. Okay? He was still a student, and therefore he didn't understand a man falling at his feet, he falling at Shirdi Baba's. He didn't understand because according to his education, he didn't have much of an education. He knew that bhakti on a man is not proper. You cannot worship a man. But even though he was Shirdi Baba, he did that. He was still questioning, and therefore, when Baba is going there, after all the people left afternoon 2:30, Baba was alone, and then he beckoned him, and then he goes there and said, do you worship a man? Baba straight shoots from the hip. Why do you worship a man? And then to which the rebuff is enough for Rege. He became very sensitive. He withdrew himself to the corner of the Sabha Mandap. In those days there was a Sabha Mandap, built by Nana Sahib Chandorkar, and therefore he withdraws, and then he waits for some time. Hours go by or minutes go by. He's just closing his eyes. He's very afraid. In his mind, the thought goes that Lord Vishnu confirmed that this is my Sadguru. But then he is saying, you worship a man. And my own theory, he thinks, my own theory is you can't worship a man. You should worship at least a Siddha Purusha. In India, there are at least 11 of them. You can worship a man, gifted, godly man you can worship. But then you can never do namaskar to a man. That's his theory. And therefore he is thinking at that time, Baba is calling him, beckoned him. Very happily Baba is calling him. And then Baba says in Marathi, the English translation of that is, you are my child. You are my child. Okay? And then he says, when strangers are in the company, I don't keep children with me. I shove them away. I send them away. When strangers, so many people are there, you are my child. That child means he is an Ankita child. Long ago, 4 years ago in Chicago, Ankita children I lectured. Ankita child is someone very dear to Shirdi Baba. There are some Ankita children here too, to Baba. Therefore, you are my child, you are my Ankita child. When I am surrounded by ordinary people, I keep the children off. And therefore, I did not mind your presence. I didn't confirm that you are my child. That is how the vision became true. Lord Vishnu's vision became true. And M.B. Rege started wondering, finally I found my Sadguru. And he keeps on going, and then every time he goes, Baba would say, stay with Ai. Baba will say only stay with Ai, Radhakrishna right? And he used to stay with Radhakrishna and he got into several experiences with Radhakrishna because Radhakrishna had a very sweet voice. She used to sing extremely well, better than some of your playback singers in Hyderabad, India. So she used to also do all the work for Shirdi Baba. Radhakrishna was the only person in Baba's contemporary devotees who lived only for Shirdi Baba. Nobody else lived. Nana Chandorkar was deputy collector. The ego of the deputy collector was interfering with him. This lady who went there with the Krishna statue, Radha Krishna statue, was obediently serving. Wherever Baba walked, she used to go and clean whenever he went to Chavadi. She He used to clean the Dwarakamayi when he was in Chavdi and vice versa. Such a great devotee you cannot find these days. Unless you see through Shirdi Baba's eyes, he will convert into 100 eyes. So, M.B. Rege used to go there and he developed a raga. Raga is Lord Rama. Okay, Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama. And then several times Baba used to send food for 2 persons. 2 rotis for the guest, 1 roti for Radha Krishna Mai. He used to do that. He never used to be told that so-and-so is coming. Any guest got this wonderful treatment by Shirdi Baba. But then the greatest treatment came with his 3 experiences on 1912, 1916 and 1916. I'll briefly say 1912 was a Guru Purnima day. Everybody went there for Guru Purnima 1912 with a garland in the hand. This fellow Rege went without a garland. He was very wounded when he was about to enter Dwarakamayi Sabha Mandap. Everybody had 2-3 garlands for Shirdi Baba. Rege, 0 garland, okay, empty-handed. But he knew that he is my Sadguru, he knows me. That guarantee, that assurance from the Sadguru was already there. With that confidence, he was walking straight with his head up. When he entered Dwarakamayi, when he went through how many steps to where he was sitting? 3 steps. He entered the 3 steps. And then Baba called him and gave all the garlands on his neck, about 10 or 11. In one book it says 12 garlands. He took out and said, all these garlands are yours. Rege got the shock of his life. Even today Baba does the same thing. When you are asking for something, it comes 2 hours, 3 hours later it comes. In Houston, suddenly there was a birthday party and she told me a little bit late, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock she was going there. I ordered a 85 degrees cake. And that fellow was also longing for a 85 degrees cake. All right? He got it 2 hours later. He was very surprised and she told me, Mama, that was a big surprise, Mama. But not these days with the red dye 3. Am I right? Red dye 3 on 85 degrees C cakes, make it 20 degrees as minus 20 degrees. The red dye won't be effective. The red dye 3 was in the news yesterday, 5:30 news. I was watching red dye 3. Don't buy anything. All those cakes with nice sparkling red color, please don't. You can buy, but don't eat it. Okay? Give it to somebody. No, don't do that, please. Not uncles. He gave the garland. In 1916, Ramanavami Day. In those days, all the devotees on Ramanavami used to take a piece of cloth and give it to Shirdi Baba. He will just consecrate by his beautiful, miraculous, eclectic touch and then give it back. This, our Rege, superior, 127 IQ, right? Or maybe close to 140. He said, I got to play on that. He went to the market in Shirdi and bought a Dhaka muslin for 85 rupees. 85 rupees in those days, Shama's salary was 3. Except Chandorkar, except Ramachandra Atmaram Tharkar, who was making 3,000 rupees a month, manager. All the others are making 3 rupees, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 30 rupees, pension was 100 rupees. So, he bought 85 rupees, very expensive muslin, and he was in the line and the muslin could be folded and into his hand. He was hiding it within his shirt and then going up to Shirdi Baba. When Shirdi Baba was giving all these things, he stealthily removed it and then put it under the gadi. He was sitting on the gadi, he just put it back and then he thought nobody watched. The all-powerful, all-seeing Shirdi Baba, he did that. First experience. So he came back very happy. Let us see. He wanted Shirdi Baba to take it and not return it like all the clothes that he was returning. Baba came to the last one. Every cloth was returned. The story some of you know. Everything was returned and at the time he said, remove the gadi and clean it, dust it. Dust the gadi. Somebody removed it was removed. Baba was standing when it was removed. The stealthily injected small packet was there. Baba caught hold of it and removed it and said, wow, what a beautiful thing. He looked at M.B. Rege standing there to his right and then he put it on himself saying, oh, this I am not returning. This is mine. Like our children say, this is mine. I am not going to return this. Wow, beautiful. So he took it and then M.B. Rege got the confirmation that he was the Ankita child. Mbirege continued to get several experiences all his life to prove that he was really the Ankita child. After this experience, with that I'll close. After this experience, one day he was with Ai, Ramakrishna Ai, discussing some raga. Both of them used to. Mbirege used to sing very well, and so was Ai. And therefore they were thinking of some raga to sing in a forthcoming festival in front of Shirdi Baba. At that time, he called reggae. And then he said, very low voicey, just to touch his chin, just like Shama, to the he was MB Reggae was a little bit embarrassed, even though he liked Shirdi Baba like a mother. So he just touched it and said, oh, see, the key of my treasury is now placed in your hands. The key of my treasury is placed in your hands right now. Ask anything you want. Ask 5 rupees, ask 10 rupees. He exactly said the money. Ask 100 rupees. These three amount, Baba said that in Marathi. You give, you ask for it, and then at the time he was looking at Reggae's eyes. Reggae said, who am I to choose money? He is the all-knowing person, he is the Sguru, and he is asking, so it's better to keep quiet. Reggae would not ask. He did not ask any money. At the time, Baba was chiding and playing around. He was just doing all this like you do to your 6 months old. Maha is here. Where is Maha? Back. Come on. Mahadev, I talked about your temple. Somebody bring him. So in the meantime, before Maha is brought, Shanti, you can. So, Baba held his chin and then coaxed him to ask for something. You ask for something because Baba wanted to give. Listen to this. Baba wanted to give. Last story, last few sentences of this, we will start the puja. Because tonight, after all, it's going to be a little bit blustery and cold. And tomorrow morning, it's a different story. And therefore, we would like to go early. And Baba asked something. And then Reggae said, is it agreed, Baba, my dear Sadguru, is it agreed that whatever I ask, you will give me? Baba said, yes, I will give you whatever you want. In that case, Reggae replied to Baba, in that case, please promise me that you will never leave me in this Janma or in all the births that are going to come. Maha is that Mahadev, that charming little boy whose mother she's her aunt, his aunt. Hello, Maha. Come. I'll show you to the world. Because you are Mahadev. Be careful. Hey. This is Mahadev, okay? Lord Shiva, and his photographs are all very alluring, and father's name is Suresh, and Sapna. They are here? Oh, very good. Hello, Mahi. He is called Mahi, okay? His name is very nice. Mahadev. Samartharam, right? Nobody calls me as Mahadev. Hello, Mahadev. You're watching. Somebody is watching from upstairs. Oh, that is Karthik uncle. Okay. So that is Mahadev. I wanted to introduce him. Be careful. Be careful. Okay. And therefore, you should always be with me. You should never leave me. Thank you, Shanti. You should never leave me, he said. Baba said, full of joy, patting him like a child. Yes, I shall be with you forever. With you, inside you, and outside of you, forever in all the births that he is taking. What a great promise. If you get this promise, how happy you will be. Whatever you ask, Baba will be giving you because he will be with you. And seeing through his eyes becomes very easy because he is standing next to you. Baba, sit in front of me. I'll see you. I'll see the things through your eyes. But then there are other ways of seeing through Baba's eyes. This is how several devotees, contemporaries lived. Mrs. Manager, of whom I have talked so many things, Mrs. Tarabai Sadasiv Tarkad, Atmaram Tarkad, Ramachandra Atmaram Tarkad's elder brother's wife. It was due to Ramachandra Atmaram Tarkad, the greatest Tarkad family. She came to know Tarabai Sadasiv Tarkad. She became one of the sterling devotees of Shirdi Baba. Shirdi Baba used to do several miracles. One of the Ankita children of Shirdi Baba. There is another one from Tamil Nadu, Vellakkinar, near between Pollachi and Coimbatore. My city, Coimbatore, very close. The Vellakkinar was Lakshmi, right? Yeah. Shivamma Thai. These are all very great people. They live for Shirdi Baba. If you want to see through Baba's eyes, everything will be so clear. I have not explained how clear it is, what else can. You can get your promotion, you can see clearly your boss's mind, you can see clearly your CEO's mind, you can clearly see your Punjabi boss's mind, and then do things accordingly. Okay? So, seeing through Baba's eyes, I just mentioned 3 examples. Tarabai Sachid, Tarabai's example I didn't say, it's a whole new book. I have the best example of my life story, seeing through Shirdi Baba's eyes, everyday life. What's going on in your life? Mama, you are right, Mama. Mama, you said that is right, Mama, that came true. So many emails come there, so many phone calls. How does it happen? I'm not going to delve deeper into that, except that you should see life through his eyes. Life becomes very simple. The equation becomes very simple. It's not as tough as E is equal to mc square. No. That was also special theory. General theory was proved wrong. He himself knows the quantum mechanics, quantum theory. What was right about Einstein was, going back to the roots, the first one, Einstein was a very good, wonderful human being. He was a contemporary of Shirdi Baba. He thought of God. In the last 10 years, Einstein was constantly thinking about God. What is God doing? That is why in an essay he wrote, God does not want to play dice with humanity. Am I right, the quote? God does not want to play dice with humanity. He thought so much about God. That's why I read with avid interest anything written on Albert Einstein other than anything written on Shirdi Baba, anything written on Sripada Srivallabha, Narasimha Saraswati. With great interest, books are brought from India. Baba himself tells me, because I see through him, he tells me about so many people. He tells me everything about so many of you. Don't be afraid. I know exactly when you come before me, I know what you are thinking. I have told so many people. Ron, a bright UTD student, I told his professor what he is thinking about Ron. Very good things, okay? He's just looking at me, staring at me. No, excellent thing. He's a good student. He is doing good. He is doing well in my class. What about the other classes? No, that I don't know. You ask Ron. Okay. He is good in cricket. And therefore, he's a young man. Is it okay, voice? He's a young man, but then he has learned so much about Shirdi Baba. Some of the people who are sitting here got shown a lot of interest on Shirdi Baba. I'll be very happy you ask me, Mama, how to look through his eyes. That is reserved for another satsang. Thank you so much. Now, thank you for coming to the satsang, even though 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, it's okay. And think about this 2025, all the lectures on Shirdi Baba will evoke your curiosity, just like looking through Shirdi Baba's eyes. First time I'm informing you how to convert your life into a great success story, how to leave a rich legacy, how to succeed as a student, how to go and get admission in Carnegie Mellon, how to get admission in Rutgers, how to get admission in Baylor's as a medical student. All these secrets are there. With Shirdi Baba's help, all these things becomes a cakewalk, not the 85 degrees cake. I'm avoiding the red dye 3, okay? Now let us do the puja. This is the quickest part. This is the long part. Thank you so much. Let's do the puja. Om Shri Sai. This puja alone will bring you the ability to see through Shirdi Baba's eyes. Small condition. You have to do it with all your mind and consciousness poured into every sentence I say. Om Shri Sai, Shri Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Shri Sai Krishna Rama Siva Maruti Yati Rupaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sesha Saine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Godavari Tata Shiladivasine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Hridayalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarva Hridayavasine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Buddha Vasaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Buddha Bhavishya Pava Varjitaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kalatitaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kala Kalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kala Darpa Damanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Amartyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Martya Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jeevadaryaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarvadaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhaktavana Samarthaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhaktavana Pradiknyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Annavastradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Arogyakshemadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Riddhi Siddhidaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Putra Mitra Kalatra Bandhudaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Yoga Shema Vahaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Apad Bandhavaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhukti Mukti Swarga Pavargadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Priti Vardhanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Antaryamine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sachidatmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Nityanandaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Paramasugadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Parameshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Parameshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jnana Swarupine Namaha. Jagadapitraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhaktanam Matrudatru Pitamahaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Matrudatru Pitamahaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Para Dinaya Namaha. Bhakta Anugraha Kataraya Namaha. Saranagada Vatsalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakti Sakti Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jnana Vairagyadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Prema Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Samshaya Hridaya Daurbalya Papa Karma Vasana Chayakaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Hridaya Granthi Bedagaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Karma Dvamsine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sutta Sasvastidaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Gunadida Gunatmane Namaha. Ananta Kalyana Gunaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Ananta Kalyana Gunaya Namaha. Amita Parakramaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jaine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jaine Namaha. Durdarsha Shobhaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Aparajitaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Trilekeshu Avigata Gataye Namaha. Asakya Rahidaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarvasakti Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Swarupa Sundaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sulokshanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bahiruba Vishwamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Aruba Vyaktaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Ashintaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Sarvantaryamine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Manovagatitaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sulabhadullabhaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Asahaya Sahayaya Namaha. Anadanata Dina Bandhave Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarva Bharaptute Namaha. Om Shri Sai Akarmaneka Karma Sukarmine Namaha. Punyachravana Kirtanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Tirthaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Vasudevaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sadam Gataye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Satparayanaaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Siddhashankalpaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Loganadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhavananagaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhavanagaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Amritamsave Namaha. Om Shri Sai Amrit Amsave Namaha. Bhaskara Prabhaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Brahmacharya Suvrataya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Brahmacharya Tapasaryadi Suvrataya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Satya Dharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Siddhashankalpaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Siddhashankalpaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Yogeshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Yogeshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhagavate Namaha. Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Satpurushaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Purushottamaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Satyadattva Bodhagaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kamadi Sadvairi Dvamsine Namaha. Apeta Nandanubhava Prabhaya Namaha. Abeda Nandanubhava Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Samasarvamata Sammataya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Venkatesa Ramanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Atpudananda Charyaya Namaha. ओम श्री साई प्रपन्नार्ति हराय नमः। संसार सर्व दुख क्षयकराय नमः। ओम श्री साई संसार सर्व दुख क्षयकराय नमः। ओम श्री साई सर्वविद सर्वतोमुखाय नमः। ओम श्री साई सर्वांतर्बहिस्थिताय नमः। ओम श्री साई सर्वमंगलकराय नमः। ओम श्री साई सर्वमंगलकराय नमः। ओम श्री साई सर्वमंगलकराय नमः। सर्वाभीष्टप्रदाय नमः। समरस षण्मार्गस्थापनाय नमः। ओम श्री साई सर्वमंगलाय नमः। ओम श्री साई समर्थ सद्गुरु साईनाथाय नमः। सद्गुरु साईनाथाय नमः। साईनाथाय नमः। ओम श्री साई अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक राजाधिराज विराज परब्रह्म श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। Let us do the arati and then go for the, you know what, right?
शिर्डी माझे पंढरपूर साई बाबा रमावर, साई रमावर, साई बाबा रमावर, शुद्ध भक्ती चंद्रभागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा, पुंडलिक जागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा, याहू याहू अवघे जन करा बाबासी वंदन, साईसी वंदन करा बाबासी वंदन, गणू म्हणे बाबा साई धाव पाव माझे आई, पाव माझे आई, धाव पाव माझे आई.
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः। ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो